Hey, Jelani, why are you blasted?
Why did I open Twitter this morning, right? The first thing I saw was that tweet from Jelani and him dressed as Cat Williams' maid with guns out. My For You suggested page.
Because it's for you.
Good morning, here's these twin blickies.
Right?
Welcome back to the Cool Comic Show. I am one of your hosts, Damien.
Yeah.
And today we have a very exciting episode. We have a couple of updates for you guys. But first off, with me as always is Jelani Carter, aka Jelani Hendricks, aka Jelani with a body. And also, of course, always with me is the same man, new name, same bald head, formerly known as Galactic Mr. E, formerly known as Mr. E, still known as E, but now known... I just had it up. I just closed it out. F.
There's no way.
Do you not know my name?
No, I know the name, but I wanted to get the full correct thing.
Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy.
X_X Gen Eric. That is his
Charles EXEX.
X.
Hey, whoa.
I wanted to make sure I got the underscore in the right spot so people can know where to find you.
What my new handle is type.
Yeah, you do the Apple dance.
And yes, E does have a new name now. Generic, but he does have
yes.
X_X. It's a cool little design that he made. What was the name of the fox again? E. It's
the mascots, Lux and Nox.
Lux and Nox. So E had a new rebranding. He came back to stream this week. Everyone go follow and support and show my guy some love.
I wear less hats now. So
yeah,
there's that.
I'm trying to get him to promote the bald agenda.
Yeah, the bald agenda is alive.
And speaking of the bald agenda, we have a very special guest.
What should be?
So that amazing voice you might have heard a little bit earlier. We have a very special guest joining us today. We've had guests on the YouTube channel before, but this is the first time we've had a guest on our main show. Joining us today, the bald man himself, but some might say the man of many hairstyles.
Oh.
Qman Bean, aka Qman, aka Young Q. Welcome on in, brother. How are you doing?
Good,
How's the vibe?
Welcome.
We're here. We made it.
Not only is he a guest, he is also the newest and proudest member of Andromeda Arcade. So originally, we were going to record this episode before that announcement got made, and I was messaging Q on the side being like, yo, let's do like a fun secret recording around this because Ian Jelani won't know at that time. But it ended up working out timing wise that we're recording this after that got announced. But he's a newest member of Andromeda Arcade along with 4 other new members. I'll put a link to the announcement video in the description. You guys can check it out. Make sure you check out Qman Streams. It's a good time. It's a good vibe. And if you see him pull out a Albert Einstein looking wig, just be ready for a lot.
Yeah, we might need to retire that one. Not gonna lie.
But yeah, Q is
You should
joining us
retire
today.
a few of them.
I figured it'd be good for Q to join us because this is gonna be a pretty packed episode. Because right after we recorded the October episode, essentially, a bunch of news got announced, like a week or two immediately after, for both Marvel and DC and some indie stuff.
Shout out Comic-Con.
Right?
Yeah, New York Comic-Con. So we have a big list here. We're just going to jump right into it. E and I are going to go back and forth, talk about some of the topics we have here, and then we'll all talk about our thoughts. As always, we'll start in the TV and movies section. So we got Invincible Season 3 trailer release date. The trailer came out too, right? Or am I tripping?
It was a little promo trailer.
Oh, yeah, a little promo.
You know, he was in the burger joint.
Oh, yeah.
Footage, right.
Yeah. So we got the release date of February 6th, 2025, and there will be no mid-season break for this one.
Yeah.
Which, doesn't Daredevil come around that time too? Or am I jumping ahead?
Daredevil comes out in March.
Okay. There's a lot coming out like pretty early on, but yeah, season 3.
I don't know why people are freaking out that there's no mid-season break. The only reason there was a mid-season break was because of the writers' strike.
Yeah.
As long as we don't have another one of those, we're fine, people. We're fine.
I think since it was like such a big topic.
Yeah, fair.
I will say I haven't finished season 2, so that's on me. I need to definitely go watch that over the holidays.
Same.
Dang, so the break wasn't
Come
long
on,
enough,
guys.
huh?
Yeah, it really wasn't. I think I'm one of the
They
people that's
extended
upset
the
about.
break.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that's upset about not having a break because I need more time.
I need more time. This is another show because I know we're gonna do our reaction to Harley Quinn when it comes out. We'll do a reaction to Creature Commandos. Depending on where life is, this may be another show that we do a reaction on. We'll kind of discuss it and kind of figure it out by then.
Y'all gotta finish season 2 first.
yeah,
And did
finish
y'all watch
season-
the Adam Eve movie?
Oh,
It's silent.
Yeah.
So Invincible season 3 is coming out.
Yeah, this
February
was season 3.
6th.
It's gonna be great.
It was actually good. I like the anime.
It was
movie.
really
It was
good,
pretty
yeah.
solid.
I've seen the fight scene that's gone viral on like
Yeah.
Twitter and like
Oh, my
Instagram and stuff like
gosh.
that. I watched that.
Well, that's not
Yeah.
enough, but
So I kind of
It's all
jumped
right.
ahead, but you kind of mentioned a little bit. Q, I didn't give you a chance to talk about some of the characters you do like, some of the stuff you enjoy watching, and that kind of stuff. And you mentioned that you liked watching Adam Eve. Is there other? What's sort of your background on some characters and stories and stuff that you like?
Yeah. So I'm kind of green when it comes to DC. I've read a few comic runs here and there, probably most notably Kingdom Come. Marvel's kind of always been, I don't know, a sort of like first love, but there are definitely some DC characters, shout out Static Shock, obviously, that are a huge part of my youth. I think apart from, the big two, my like all-time favorite and what kind of got me back into reading comics was Brian K. Vaughan's Saga series. Like that,
Yeah, it's a good one.
that definitely
Really,
speaks
really
to me. Yeah, for sure.
What would you say is some of your favorite comic book like media, like movies or TV shows or stuff that you really enjoy?
I mean, I've enjoyed a lot of what's come out of the MCU. I mean, there's it's been streaky here and there, but I'm a big fan of what's come out of there. I mean, Batman Beyond. I don't know how you
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
and
know
Johnny.
how.
I freaking love Batman Beyond.
Yeah. I remember I didn't have too many figurines growing up, but that was definitely one that I had close to me when I felt, put my head to sleep at night.
I still own my Batman Beyond Velcro wallet from when I was like a
hell
I
kid.
have
yeah.
I
Just
have
to
the
keep it.
Batman Beyond
We gotta bring
pop
that
in my
back.
display case behind me.
But yeah, so that's a little bit about Q. I feel like between the three of us now, Q here, we have a lot of different experiences and perspectives of characters that we like and stuff that we enjoy more than others. Q, just so you know, this is a DC only show, so no appreciation for Morphle.
Say less.
But yeah, so Invincible season 3 that'll be coming out February 6th. That's gonna come sooner than we think, like very quick, because it's already November. So
Yeah. Shit.
For sure.
real quick. But I'm
It's
excited for
almost
that.
next year.
So jumping over to DC now, we have a lot of DC news because, as we mentioned at the beginning, New York Comic Con was towards the end or middle of October. James Gunn was there. That was his first kind of convention about the DCU, basically. He was there to talk about Creature Commandos, but he also gave some insight into some other stuff. So Creature Commandos, it will be coming out December 5th. That'll be the first DCU New Era property. Rick Flag Jr., I guess, is still dead. And that'll be our first reaction series for this new DCU. But that trailer did come out. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it. If you guys have any thoughts, expectations, anything like that for the show.
I watched it. I enjoyed it. I'm really excited about it. Cersei looked amazing. There was a tweet where James Gunn was like, we're going to reference some stuff from, old TV shows and old movies, and that will be canon and other things won't be. And I was like, all right.
I mean, it's
and
comic
one of
books, you know?
Yeah. And one of the things he mentioned in Creature Commandos is that, because Rick Flag Sr. is in Creature Commandos, and he's going to mention that his son is dead, which is going to make Peacemaker canon because that's where Rick Flag passes. Which is cool because, and we'll get to this, Peacemaker 2 is still on the horizon. So I like how he's picking and choosing what's coming over and what's not. And it makes me a little more excited for the new era. to see the animated show also kind of tied into the live action things that we're expecting to come out.
I'm definitely excited. And I enjoyed Peacemaker season 1. So I'm glad that they're like keeping that canon and moving forward. Yeah, I mean, I think I've definitely talked about this before. James Gunn, for me, has like the golden touch. I feel like he always has like a good balance of personality and action and humor when it comes to the properties that he works on. I mean, it's evident in Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacemaker. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you would watch Peacemaker and see John Cena and be like, all right, cool, just action star, more serious and everything. But there's some really good emotional beats and comedic beats. I mean, as a comedic actor, he's fantastic, like John Cena himself. So it's definitely like evident throughout that show. So I think Creature Commandos, I think this is like the perfect kind of like entry into the new James Gunn era of DCU, because I feel like if he kind of came out swinging with like with a Superman or a Batman or whatever, like it would be like typical how everybody wants to introduce the DCU. But I think going in through kind of like lesser known characters to kind of build out the world first, especially in an animated medium that will have like chances of crossing over to like a more live action medium, I think might be like the perfect way to like ease people in and be like, all right, cool, this is what we're going to be getting. This is going to set the tone for everything. And so I'm excited. And the trailer's awesome. It looks great.
Like you mentioned it, one of the biggest reasons I'm excited for this show is Cersei. I mentioned it before. Cersei is arguably Wonder Woman's top villain, if not between her and Ares and Cheetah. But Cersei kind of being this first entrant into the DCU. I would assume Jameson's not going to kill her in this show, because that'd be kind of crazy. Because Cersei has such a big role, not only in Wonder Woman, but overall like DC as a whole. There's a very prominent story called War of the Gods from George Perez's run. That was a couple of years like after he had kind of restarted that run that modernized Wonder Woman. But the reason I bring that up is because this first phase of James Gunn thing is called Gods and Monsters. And so she has a pretty like, when it comes to gods and monsters specifically, Cersei's pretty involved with that kind of stuff. Clearly, if she's in Creature Commandos here. So, but you guys also kind of mentioned it too, kind of wrap it into Peacemaker season 2. I still have not finished Peacemaker season 1. I saw those first 3 episodes. I know everyone says it continues to get better, but I think at that time it was one of those things that I was just not bitter, but I was just like, a Peacemaker show, dog? Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I definitely feel you.
And but this was at that time before like DC announced this new direction, because this was still like, okay, what are we gonna do? What's the new kind of thing? So I think was there a release date that came out for that, or no, just the trailer?
For Peacemaker?
Yeah.
No, not as of yet.
Okay.
They said that filming is almost done.
Okay.
The
So they'll probably announce it soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
also haven't watched Peacemaker like at all.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I need
Like
to
I said,
get to it.
I'm the same way as you, where I was just like, I'll check it out, because the first week they had the first 3 episodes drop, and I was like, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And then after I watched it, I was like, and this was again at the time, I was like, do I want to watch another white man like show? You know, like,
Yeah. Valid.
Coming out at that point.
When it came out, it was just so random, because like no one really knew about Peacemaker, and there were so many other deserving characters that they could have fleshed out. But so yeah, like Dame said, it was a little bitter, as that's why I really didn't get into it. I did eventually go back and watch it, and it is good for what it is. I will give it that. I didn't hate watching it, and now that I know that like it does tie into the new slate, I might read up on it a little more.
yeah.
You know,
I think like depending on season 2, I might check it out based on if there are true connections to everything else. And I know that's not a good reason to watch something. You should kind of watch it as it is and enjoy it for what it is. But again, this is just, I think this goes back to what we talked about before. It's like, you don't have to be interested in every single thing. Like the beauty of comic books and comic book media is there's something for everybody, which also means that not everything is for everybody. And so I was like, it's not for me. I'll kind of just, wait for something else to come out. But that's Creature Commandos and Peacemaker.
I think the
go ahead.
only thing I would probably add is like the major incentive from this point out, right, is that Gunn's made it pretty clear that all like the voice actors who you're hearing or seeing in one show is going to translate, whether it's animated or live action. I think like
even video games when he first announced his.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna keep on doing that.
Yeah,
in
that's
particular.
gonna be tough.
But like, I mean, he was pretty adamant about being like everything is connected in some sort of way. So I agree with you too.
Yeah, that's what makes me more excited for this, and what makes me want to go back to Peacemaker and like give it a fair shake, because we already have correlation between Peacemaker and Creature Commandos, and neither one has like come out yet. Well, season 2 of Peacemaker hasn't come out yet, so that's exciting. It's small, but it's exciting.
One small thing to note, and you were mentioning it, Q, like of the voice actors. I think during that New York Comic Con panel, he did say that the voice actor for Rick Flag Sr. will be in Superman. So
nice.
That's already cool.
There's also another character. Well, he plays in Creature Commandos, but he's going to be a different character. Well, his character in Superman hasn't been fully announced. So I don't know if that's what you're speculating, but there might be two if that's not who you're talking about.
Superman is going to be that's coming quick. That's like 8 months away at this point.
Yeah.
Are you guys still coming? Oh, so Q, now that you're here, I'm going to put an open invitation to you and put it on camera. I invited Ian Jelani to come out to my undisclosed location so we can all go watch Superman together.
My bad.
Next July.
Interrupt the flow of things. My camera.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to put up a cool image of Q in his camera's place while he got it fixed. So,
Please.
So that's Creature Commandos, Peacemaker. I think we mentioned this a couple recordings ago. We're in the especially since New York Comic Con, we're in that time now where a bunch of this news is coming out, which is like it's new era, new year, new me. Another James Gunn new DCU property going into movies. We got the casting of Ruthye for the Supergirl movie. Her name is Eva Ridley. She is of body problem. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with her work. She is a young kid, obviously. But she is cast as Ruthye, which is a very pivotal character of that story. So that'll start filming in January, 2 months. Yeah, January. So
shit.
Sheesh. Yeah. Also, sorry about that typo. It's Three Body Problem. It's a show that came out on Netflix.
I started watching it.
That's my bad.
It looks really, really good. I haven't finished the show, but
Snacks put me onto it.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Netflix show?
Good. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Is she like a main character in that show? Or is she kind of just like a? I don't know if you.
I didn't finish, so there's that. But the first episode was really good.
Okay. With that filming in January, and obviously Superman coming up and everything like that, next year's San Diego Comic Con, if James does go, that's gonna be pretty fucking. There's gonna be a lot there.
Wow.
Yeah. January is going to be packed, and we'll get to it when we get to the comic section. But just the sheer amount of series in the comics that start in January
I'm so excited.
Kind of wild. I mean, this month too, we have a lot of books coming out this month. I'm really excited for Black Canary, which we talked about a few shows ago. New Gods, doesn't that drop this month too?
It comes out. I have it on my phone. Let me double check. Sorry, we're skipping ahead to the book section for a moment.
Sorry.
New Gods comes out December. Oh God, December 18th. Jesus.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah,
so the end of the year and the beginning of next, we're eating, boys.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm super excited.
The last piece of DC TV movies news. Some might say maybe the smallest thing that was announced. There wasn't a big conversation about it. So immediately after we filmed the last episode, 3 days later, because I remember in that recording we were talking about the casting for Hal Jordan, and now at the end of the episode I was like, who would you want casted as Jon Stewart? And then 4 days later, Jon Stewart did get announced as casting. Aaron Pierre has officially been cast as Green Lantern. I haven't seen any of his work before, but I know he was in a recent Netflix movie called Rebel Ridge. And just to, we mentioned it, the big conversation obviously a lot of people were talking about is they wanted a darker skinned actor for Jon Stewart. There were people also coming to his defense saying that he's a great actor and that he got chosen because of his acting ability. But we did get Jon Stewart announcement. So thoughts?
Okay, so yes, I understand where people are coming from, being like, he's a talented actor, blah, 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 he deserves that role, which is true, right? I will say, as a darker skinned person, there has been a trend of casting more light skinned actors to portray black characters all the time. So it's not just like, oh, he's black, so that's fine. You know what I mean? He's a fair skinned dude with light eyes. So like essentially that kind of works for Jon Stewart. But I mean, historically speaking, almost every single portrayal, even voice actors wise, it's all been dark skinned black men portraying Jon Stewart. So it would have been nice to see a dark skinned actor portray him. I don't think we have a shortage of dark skinned black actors, male actors that are probably just as talented as Aaron Pierre. I mean, shout out to him. I'm glad he got it. And I bet that process was vigorous, you know what I mean? But like still, I get it, but like it would have been nice. It would have been nice. I don't think it's going to take me out of the experience, but I feel like they could have done a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like you get the one chance to really like show our guy on screen. A lot of people's favorite, a lot of people's first introduction to Green Lantern. Definitely. Well, I can't say I knew about Hal Jordan before Jon Stewart, but I mean, if you're around our age, the Green Lantern you grew up on is from Justice League, the animated series. You know what I mean? And that's Jon Stewart.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
You know, it would have been nice. That's all I was going to say. It would have been nice. I'm not completely upset. I bet he's going to do a great job. And I mean, now he has a bit of a chip on his shoulder, so he has to, which is kind of fucked up to say. Yeah, I mean, I want him to be comfortable and do his thing, but like, there's kind of like a lot riding on this. On top of him portraying a lot of people's favorite character, you know, it's going to be that added weight, you know? So, yeah. That's my opinions on that.
I am. Oh, go ahead, Q.
Oh, I don't have much. I was gonna say it was cool seeing some of the maybe alternate options or like fan castings, like Trevante Rhodes playing. Playing him would have been great. Who was in Barry Jenkins' Moonlight, has been in
Moonlight,
other
very
things. Good. You know, the Tyrese agenda did unfortunately fold.
That is one ball agenda. That is one ball agenda I'm not supporting.
I was trying to fix my camera there. We always talk about the ball agenda. I think it might take off. But it's cool to see some of the other people that probably would have been maybe a bit more fitting for the role. I have seen Aaron Pierre and also Barry Jenkins' limited series Underground Railroad, and he was phenomenal in that. But unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, I am along the same lines. I've been a fan of Green Lantern for forever. This is one of the first comics one of the first DC comics I ever got, and so the character does mean a lot to me. I don't think I'm too upset because I have seen the actor in other things. He played in Krypton, so I do know he has what it takes. You mentioned Trevante Rhodes. I do think he fits the bill a little more. Mo better. But you know, I'm not completely dismissing him. I know there's history. I know there's there's a lot of things at play as to why people are upset, and I do agree with that. But I'm in a state where I'm just kind of excited to see one of my favorite characters realized. So I don't want to negate that. But you know, everyone's right to be upset. You know? Everyone's right to be upset.
Is definitely justified for sure.
You know, but I do want to give him a fair shake because I do, like I said, I know he has the potential to be a great Jon Stewart. So yeah, but we'll see.
I agree with you guys 100%. Even though my opinion obviously isn't as relevant to this, I was the same way. I do think I agree with you, E2E, where like there was people trying to invalidate those who were upset about it, and I'm like, there's like Jelani just mentioned, like there's a clear reason why people would be upset, and then also on the other side of it, people who were trying to attack him, saying like he shouldn't have accepted the role, and that's a whole other conversation about Hollywood in general and people trying to find work, and like Jelani mentioned, like darker skinned actors being overlooked essentially for lighter skinned actors. So I think it's a very big conversation. I am curious on what not only James Gunn but DC's like reaction as a whole was to everybody else's reaction. Because we know that they're online and they see everything. So I'm curious how those kind of conversations went down. But he got announced. I don't know if they said anything about when they're going to start filming or anything like that. I would assume by San Diego Comic-Con, we get a first look at their costumes or whatever, because that's a whole other conversation. Like obviously the casting news is the bigger piece, but the whole other side of it is James Gunn saying that this is going to be, and he mentioned it a little bit during New York Comic Con, this is going to be kind of a more grounded show. And I'm like, okay, but this is the Green Lanterns,
Yeah,
how grounded can space cops be?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, I gotta trust the process, because like Jelani said, they're space cops. It doesn't get more cosmic. However, based on the casting, I'm going to say that maybe Hal Jordan is like on his way out, and Jon Stewart is, the rookie. So he's, learning how to protect Earth, and then maybe we see how Jordan go off into space, and then that starts a whole new thing. While leaving Jon Stewart to be Earth's protector, because that's kind of how it happens in the comics. Hal starts off as Earth's protector, then he just becomes the Guardian of the Galaxy, no pun intended. And then you have Guy Gardner step in to protect Earth. You have Jon Stewart. That's why there's like a million Earth Green Lanterns.
Earth is under attack a lot.
Earth is well protected, and still somehow in danger.
For centuries you get one Green Lantern, and all of a sudden Earth comes around, you get like 7. What did we do?
So I'm excited. I think it could be like a buddy cop, rookie type situation. Hopefully it's not too grounded. Turn to Smallville, where they said no capes, no powers. But no capes, no tights. So we'll see. I'm still excited. I'm excited. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that goes back to something you mentioned. I think one of our early recordings, where how you're such a big fan of Green Lantern, and when that movie came out, the Ryan Reynolds one, like, why
would you mention that?
Well, they'll mention it because after that came out, it made DC very like gun shy about anything Green Lantern. They canceled the Green Lantern animated show. True. There was there was nothing Green Lantern coming out, and so this is the first like Green Lantern thing, and we're hoping that it's not too grounded and it doesn't like. We're hoping that they're still not gun shy to fully lean into what Green Lantern is, basically.
Yeah, we're hoping it doesn't take away from what Green Lantern is. Hopefully it doesn't turn into Folie à Deux.
Let's get a box office check in on Joker 2 real quick. Quick pivot. Let me see. We're about a month out since the movie has came out. The first movie, if you guys remember, made $1 billion. The budget for this one was $190 million, and we're about a month since release, and it's just at $200 million for box office.
Hey, wow, they broke even.
If you account for marketing on top of that, they definitely lost money on this one.
Also very true.
And the only reason we mention it is because this is the last DC movie like pre James Gunn, essentially. So, but that's.
So you'll say we're watching it once it hits HBO Max, or like what's up?
That's all the DC
Y'all can't
news.
All be busy.
That's all the DC TV movie news. And now we move on to Marvel/Disney Plus.
Let's go.
Let's go. We got a lot of Marvel news. A lot of it we were expecting, but we finally have a lot of dates to expected projects. What If Season 3 is hitting December 22nd.
God, that's soon.
That's very soon.
That's so soon.
I haven't seen Season 2. I'll say that much.
Right.
I will also say that much.
Watch party.
I really... Look, I'm down. Let me know. I thoroughly enjoyed Season 1. So I do want to watch Season 2. It's just... life got away from me, and then I forgot Season 2 was a thing until Season 3 was announced. Here we are. So yeah, I'm excited to hop in, see what the Elseworlds are doing. That if it's anything like Season 1, there's bound to be some good surprises. So I'm definitely in. I'm definitely on board. Next, we have Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man coming out January 25th.
That's
Another
also
first
soon.
look.
What the fuck?
Huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but
I'm looking forward to
they've
that.
been
It looks
talking
cool.
about that for a couple of years now, though.
Yeah.
So, I actually another thing I forgot about because it's been so long since the announcement.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. It looks like I like the cell shading animation. So I'm looking forward to it. See how things pan out. And isn't this supposed to be like within the same universe? Or am I
don't
making that up?
think so. I would imagine
Yeah, I'm not sure.
they might be limiting themselves if they try to do it that way. So I'd imagine it's kind of its own thing. But who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
Next we have Daredevil Born Again. I'm sure
big
we're
one.
all excited
The
for
big
that.
one.
Baby boy. My baby boy.
A big one.
And a trailer dropped for that as well. This is coming out March 4th, so also
Can't
not too
wait.
far out.
Did they say how many episodes it was going to be? Because I know when they first announcement, they said like 18, but I think they changed it.
Yeah, I'm
right.
pretty sure it changed. Let me see. Let's see.
Episode count. I think the last news
9.
just said 9. Okay.
9. Oh wait,
Wait,
hold on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 9. Yeah. I see it.
Daredevil Born Again is scheduled to premiere on Disney Plus on March 4th, 2025 with a 9-episode first season. It will be part of Phase 5 of the MCU.
Honestly, 9 is kind of a lot for how Disney Plus usually does stuff.
Yeah. So we should get because that's how many episodes Agatha just had as well.
I might need to go back and rewatch the Netflix Daredevil before this comes out.
Right.
Hell
Did they
yeah,
say
dude.
anything about runtime on those episodes? I thought I saw something like it's going to be much closer to an hour.
Probably
If it is, I
45
cannot
minutes to an
wait.
hour.
I don't see them breaking it down to 30.
How
'cause
long
it was
are the
closer to an
Agatha
hour
episodes?
on Netflix as well.
Episodes
Those are
like
between
35 to 40.
30 to 45
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
I'd say probably around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than likely.
I wonder
But
what their decision was to cut it from 18 to 9, right? Because wasn't 18 the number thrown out for the first season?
Yeah, I
alone?
think when it first got announced, I think that's kind of a bigger thing, like for the TV industry as a whole. Like TV shows used to always be 20, 24 episodes, and then like the streaming era kind of dropped them to like 12, and then to 10, and now they're pretty much all like 10 or less.
Yeah. That was that like those like 19 to 22 episode like seasons is definitely more of a network television thing than a streaming television thing. Because you also got to account for like winter breaks and stuff like that, and advertising and everything. Yeah, and I think also at the same time too, like around that time that was announced during like She-Hulk, and I feel like they were thinking about their TV shows more like network TV shows at the time too.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean,
yeah, and then
even She-Hulk didn't have that many, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
6, I think.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And,
But
and much shorter too. I don't remember.
Yeah,
But I
she was
assume-
only 30 minutes.
I assume it probably changed from 18 to 9 because they were just one, like I think at that time Marvel or Disney was realizing a lot of their stuff wasn't as quality as they wanted it to be, and so they're trying to kind of
they
like
had to scale.
prioritize quality over like the amount that was kind of going out.
Right.
And like it matches everything else they're doing because all their other Disney Plus shows were 8 to 9 episodes, except for Moon Knight, which I think only got 6.
Yeah.
So, or
I miss
maybe
Moon
only
Knight.
got 6.
I wonder if we'll ever see him again.
Right?
You know, when the moon is a night. Let's.
When the moon is
We got another first look. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
The only thing that the only thing I'm like really curious about with this Daredevil show is how they plan to connect it tonally to the source material, because of just like it, as dark as the Netflix series was, the original comic run was much darker. Like, I mean, it's what frame.
him
one,
and
you're
Peter
seeing-
Parker be going like depressed for depressed when it comes to protecting their city.
Yeah,
Honestly,
not
so
depressed for the press.
Aaron Page, I think, was like
some
hung out in the
Some sad
comments
guys.
too. I'm especially curious to see how that plays out. But
Yeah, I mean, because his portrayal in She-Hulk was definitely a little bit more comedic, which he is and can be in the comics. From that trailer that I watched, it does seem to be a little bit more dark. I don't know if it'll be as dark as the Netflix series, especially like during like those like Punisher and Daredevil interactions.
The Punisher's back for this, so they're gonna have to make something work.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to like, I mean, we have been seeing Marvel or Disney Plus get more mature with the content that they put on there, especially with their more comic book properties. So maybe this will probably be like their first like real swing into like an actual like dark story. So that is a dark character and he interacts with other dark characters. I mean, you know, Vincent D'Onofrio smashed somebody's head in with a freaking car door, you know what I mean, in the original series. So, and he's appearing again, you know? So yeah, we'll see. I hope they get the tone right. Because I agree with you, Q. That's what I'm big on as well. I think that's why I enjoy Daredevil so much, because he's one of my favorite Marvel heroes. So I'm just like, you just got to get it right. I mean, I did like him in She-Hulk, and I thought he was good. But I was like, on his own show, it's a different beast. You know what I mean? So like, just get that right if you can.
For sure. Next, we have another first look at Ironheart, which I completely also forgot about. I feel like it was supposed to come out before now, but it got pushed back. At least that's my headcanon.
No, it definitely did. It definitely did, because it should have been out already, I think.
Yeah, because the character premiered in Black Panther 2.
Right.
And so there was a lot of hype for Ironheart, and then it just kind of withered away. So I'm excited to see the character back. I'm excited to see what they do, because at the end of Black Panther 2, I'm pretty sure she had to give her suit back.
Yeah.
Which is I'm not too mad about, because the CGI
The Power
is
Rangers?
kind of crazy. But so it's gonna be cool to see her kind of start over from the ground up and see what that means, like in her hometown and everything. So I'm sure we'll get some cool cameos as well. And I love Riri. I love Riri. So it's gonna be fun, a fun series. At least I'm hoping. But that's slated to come out on June 24th, which is right around my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm looking at the first look at her. The suit in the trailer already looks a lot better than how it looked in the movie.
It looks really good. It looks really good. So I'm excited for it.
It's not giving go-go.
Super Sentai.
Same man. Adjacent. Yeah. It's crazy how far we are removed from Wakanda forever. Like I
know, right?
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
been,
believe
3 years?
2022. I think it was late, right? I think it was.
Yeah. That's
God,
crazy.
it's 2 years ago. Jesus.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, 'cause I remember watching that in the theaters, being blubbering low key, because you know. But yeah, I mean,
I'm a very emotional movie.
Crazy emotional. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Ironheart, because I really love the actress's portrayal of Riri Williams, and I think her story is just like interesting in general. And I think they're gonna do a good job. I think they're gonna do, and like I feel like we need more portrayal of characters like Riri Williams and younger characters in general, younger Black characters. I think that's just going to be cool. You know what I mean? Especially because, you know, you got like Miles Morales opening the door for everybody, especially with his movies now too. So I feel like mainstream America is more comfortable with the idea of younger POC characters portraying or being proteges to their favorite superheroes, which they're already setting up, because you know they got Young Avengers going on and everything. So it just kind of pushes that agenda a little bit more, which I'm excited about.
I feel the same way. And like you mentioned, Marvel has opened the door to a lot of younger heroes lately, especially POC and LGBTQ as well, because we had America and now Wiccan at the forefront as well. So it's a real good time for Marvel, and I would like to see how they bring Riri into the fold, because, you know, she's not a young Avenger, but neither is Kamala. So they're making their own story, and the story they were making isn't really possible right now, so they're pivoting in a lot of different directions. So I'm excited to see the culmination of that and how some of these characters fit into that mold.
I think it looks good. I think with like all these, it's like we got quick looks. But I think, honestly, I think I'm going to probably watch all these. Marvel Zombies, we'll get to it, but I think all of these are pretty, I'm like looking forward to all, honestly. Like they all look pretty cool. And these were all, like you were mentioning it, these were all projects that got announced a long time ago. And so you kind of like, not lose interest, but you kind of like put them out of your mind. And then now that they're back, it's like, all right, now let's get back into it and kind of
exactly.
check them all out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the next project that we got a little teaser for was Eyes of Wakanda, which is also an animated series that's coming out August 6th of next year. So not soon.
I'm actually
But
looking forward to this one a lot.
Yeah, it looked really
nice.
good. Dame also mentioned we have Marvel Zombies coming out. That's October 24th of next year. And then Wonder Man is coming out December 25th. I don't know if that's this year or next year, though.
I think it's just December 2025, right?
Yeah.
That's what that means. But yeah.
But yeah, like I mentioned, Marvel, like, I think this is a personal preference. Zombie stuff in general, I've always kind of been like, about. But Wonder Man I'm excited for, mainly because this actor, he's been Black Manta. He's been Dr. Manhattan. He's been Dr. Manhattan. And now he's going to be Wonder Man. So I'm curious how he'll kind of like...
I love
Yaya
Yaya so
that's
much.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yaya
he's so good.
routine is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many episodes that'll be, end up being.
I'm not sure. Let's see.
But I don't really know a lot about Wonder Man. He's one of those Marvel characters I don't know. Because like Marvel in general I enjoy, but there's some characters I don't really know much about. So Wonder Man, I don't know a lot about him.
Looks like Wonder
Makes me
Man will
curious.
have 10 episodes. From the styling of it, I'm going to say it's going to be 30 minutes because it doesn't feel like it's, filmed in one of those cinematic ways.
Is Wonder Man more of like a comedic character, or do you guys know anything about him?
No.
From the trailer I saw, he looks comedic. I also don't know too much about Wonder Man. Q, our Marvel guy, do you have any info?
Really, I mean, Wonder Man's, I feel like he's a pretty tertiary character. He is known to be a bit more on the comedic end. So I imagine that the show will take like a similar form. But I haven't necessarily any run that I've read. He's played like a tertiary role.
Do you guys think we'll get news about this new era of Wonder Woman before Wonder Man TV show goes up, or what?
Wonder Wars.
I was, you know what? I would think so. Especially because
that's a year from now. So
yeah, no, I think Absolute Wonder Woman is going to do well, which is going to bring that conversation up more. So hopefully, it sucks that we gotta that's going to be the thing that we got to look out for.
Yeah,
because she's big three.
Yeah,
they keep on just doing Bruce and Clark, and I'm like, hey, there's a third person in that Trinity.
It's called Trinity.
Exactly, who's just as strong, just as popular, if not more. So I'm like, what are we doing?
I did look up Wonder Man's powers. He has a lot. Superhuman strength, speed, agility, stamina, and reflexes, ionic energy physiology, enhanced vision and hearing, electromagnetic manipulation, ionic energy manipulation, energy enhanced strike, virtual invulnerability, self-sustenance, power recycling, size alteration. What kind of size are we talking about here? Healing factor, shape-shifting, teleportation, immortality, and flight.
So he's basically everything.
Is this guy Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman put together? Is that what this is? Marvel just kind of put them all together.
So he's playing Dr. Manhattan again.
Is he Dr. Manhattan?
I wonder if it's one of those things where his power is imagination, whatever he needs in the moment.
Exactly. I have no idea what ionic means, but that's what he has. So that's probably.
There's a quote here from Stan Lee. It says, Marvel Comics' then publisher Stan Lee said in 1978, quote, years ago we brought out Wonder Man and DC sued us because they had Wonder Woman. And I said, okay, I'll discontinue Wonder Man. And all of a sudden they got Power Girl after we had already introduced Power Man. Oh boy, how unfair.
Damn, not the pettiness.
Yeah, it seems like Wonder Man kind of just has everything, which is interesting to put him in a TV show at that point.
Well, from the trailer, it looked like I said, it looked like a comedy show, and he was auditioning for the role of Wonder Man. So it looks like it's gonna be one of those shows that takes a crazy turn. So I'm on board. On board. Next, we have Spider-Man 4 has a release date of July 24th, 2025.
That's so far away.
2025 or 2026?
26.
Sorry, 2026.
Oh, 26.
Yeah. That is very far away. Tom Holland is set to return. I did see an article where he mentioned he does want to bring in Miles Morales. I don't know if it'll happen.
Yeah,
But
so I was
that
gonna
would
say,
be
how old is he gonna be by that time that comes out? He's like close to his 30s now, right?
hell if I know.
Yeah,
He'll be,
Tom Holland. Yeah,
he'll be 30 when that movie comes out. Like actually, like
Yeah.
30.
So
really?
he's prime past the torch age, you know?
yeah.
As,
like,
as messed up as
I was
that
gonna say in
sounds.
the Spider-Man games, Peter can't be that much old. He has to be like
No,
30
'cause-
something.
Yeah, he's got to be early 30s.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be playing him for the next 30 years, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, which
Hey,
I'm cool with.
if
Like,
he
I
wants-
think,
if
I
he
think
wants
he
that
still
check,
has
then
that.
yeah.
I think
I don't want to get rid of Tom Holland.
No,
I
for
just
sure,
would like
100%.
to also see Miles Morales do his
I think
thing,
they should
you know?
also, because I know they set up for him being in college at the end of the last one. I think if this movie, who knows what it's going to be. One, they need to have Miles introduced in it, and two, I mean that's a whole other conversation, but Secret Wars and stuff like that, to bring Miles in. But two, I think they need to kind of, I know people don't want it, but to quickly kind of get him maybe past college because there's more stories to tell in his older age.
In his adulthood for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
boy,
Next,
this next
Jelani,
one.
don't cry. Blade is dead.
One out, y'all.
Blade is
Pour one
dead.
out for real.
Indefinitely on hold. Not super dead, but like not coming anytime
Yeah,
soon.
because like with all these things we got dates for, they kind of like took away Blade's date.
Yeah,
Essentially.
for sure.
Kevin frickin' Feige. How the hell?
When I find you, Kevin.
How the hell did you fumble Mahershala Ali
Tell him,
as
Jelani.
Blade?
Tell
It
him.
makes no sense. Black guy, vampires, swords and guns. It's so easy to make.
It's
Do
right.
So
not-
simple.
it's just like it's not hard.
It's right there.
It's not hard to do, bro. It's not hard to
Yeah.
do. Especially even if you want to tie that into freaking like you tied in what's bro's name? Kit Harington being freaking
Yeah,
random
Black
ass
Knight.
Arthur
Yeah.
Knight, Black Knight at the end. Like, come on now. If you can do that,
Yeah.
you can do Blade. All right. Also, you already introduced characters like Blade or characters or the concept of vampires and other monsters with Werewolf by Night. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. And that was my biggest concern and my biggest fear. They were just going to keep on messing around and do all these rewrites and drop actors and directors and all this extra stuff. And like eventually interest is going to die. And like it sucks. It just sucks. And especially now that like, and I had a feeling that this was going to be doomed when like spoilers, if you haven't watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and I apologize, you can skip ahead. But like Wesley Snipes pretty much confirms like there's only one Blade. Like why would you even manifest that? You know what I mean? Like as cool as that cameo was, and it was very cool to see Wesley Snipes again, and he was great in it. Wesley Snipes is like damn near 70.
Yeah.
So like why would you even want to do that? You know
Not
what I
only
mean?
that,
Like,
but Marvel being cool with that joke being in there. You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that makes no sense. No sense to me.
And on top of all of that, you mentioned a lot of characters that kind of piss me off more. There's Werewolf by Night.
Yep.
There is, you mentioned somebody else too, but all of these characters, including Blade.
Yeah, I think the Black Knight is that his
The
name?
Black Knight. Yeah,
Yes.
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington, the actor's name? Wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kit Harington is the actor's name. But he
Yeah, I was
plays
gonna say
the Black
Jon
Knight
Snow,
in-
but
He,
yeah.
he plays the Black Knight in the back of, not the back of, in the end of the Eternals. But Black Knight, Werewolf by Night, and Blade and Johnny Blaze, which I'll mention a tie to that in a second, and fucking Wong and Doctor Strange, all of these people are
Wonder
in the
Man.
Midnight Suns. So Blade is a pretty big deal in the Midnight Suns as well, and you have all of these other characters surrounding him. People have been wanting the Midnight Suns for a while.
I
So
bet it's even
a lot of
I
people.
bet that fans are even raised after the game. Too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the game was
exactly.
very good.
So a lot of people have been waiting for all of these characters to kind of come together. Excuse me. So it's really kind of like, what are we doing when you have such a titular character, and you have the actor, you have so much story behind him, and you just kind of fumble that.
Currently
and
creating
now,
story for him, right? Because he's having a crazy run in the comics right now.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
daughter is going crazy too. It's just like, man, it's just you got someone that is so popular in the comics and in mainstream. He's that character is the one that kicked off comic book movies pretty much for your modern era comic book movies, especially for this current era of Marvel. It just makes no sense that you would like fumble that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like, I truly don't know what it takes in order to make a movie, especially when it comes to Marvel and Disney. They're trying to make franchises and businesses. So I bet that process is grueling and crazy. But I think since they initially announced it, like 4 or 5 years ago, gave bro the hat on stage in front of everybody, they could have come up. Okay, right? You could have come up with something. There was a whole pandemic and a writer strike and all this extra stuff. You had more than enough time to do that.
Yeah.
And
For
you
sure.
still kind of fumbled it. Or not kind of, you still completely fumbled it. And it just baffles my mind. Especially because you had so many different projects and everything to come out in between then that took less time to produce. Or you had, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
You know, the
Like,
biggest thing too on top of that, Jelani, is they have Mahershala Ali. Like, you
Yes.
have Blade.
one of the most talented actors of our time right now, who's already been in Marvel stuff before. So he already
Yeah.
rocks with you.
Like, he's
So I'm
on
just like-
board. He's ready to go. And
Like,
they just...
what are we doing? What are we
He's
doing?
50 years old, y'all. We
That's
are
what I'm
not getting
saying.
this Blade movie.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
We are
Bro,
not
because it
getting
was even a stretch when bro was what 46 when they announced that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to bring
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.'s old ass back? I love him and I love Iron Man, but I'm just like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, actually, what are we doing?
It's
Like,
crazy to me that we're
yeah.
getting a Wonder Man TV show before Blade anything.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And if anything, could have had Yaya be him.
Exactly.
If you wanted a younger actor that's like down and
Yeah.
like built and ready to do action stuff, like, I don't know. It makes no
Do
sense. to me.
something.
Yeah, take whoever was the dark skinned actor that was supposed to portray Jon Stewart, bring him in here, all right,
Honestly?
and make a Blade
Mahershala?
movie. All right?
Bring Trevante in and have it be Blade.
Yo.
Honestly. He would rock.
That would be
Right? Crazy.
perfect.
It's like I don't know, man. I just, like I said, I feel like they had a whole bunch of opportunity and enough time in order to make something, even if it, like, God forbid, even if it flopped, you could have made something.
Yeah.
You had so much time to make something and you just didn't. And I don't know what that original script was that caused all those rewrites. I don't know what the notes were from the big wigs over there, but I'm like, it couldn't have been so bad that y'all are like, you know what, let's just put this on the shelf.
Yeah.
Because and now I know how Damien feels about Wonder Woman, because I'm just
That's
like,
what
are
I'm
we doing?
saying. Like,
What, like,
A video
what?
game is
this
definitely
is
coming.
your version. You have Wonder Man TV show before Blade anything. That's
Right?
crazy.
And I bet Wonder Man's going to be great. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of
But
course,
at
but
the
it's
same
like-
time, it's just like, what?
We have other things
Who
to
asked
be
for that?
doing, y'all.
and I hope this doesn't happen, but I dread the day that it's announced that Mahershala drops out.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought that original announcement or that latest announcement
Yeah.
was going to be, because
Yeah.
that's my biggest concern. Like I've talked about that with y'all. Like my cousin Miles is another big like MCU fan, and we usually talk about nerdy stuff. And that's like my main concern. I'm like, you guys are going to keep on fumbling after like that third time that they said they're gonna, like, oh, we're gonna find another director. Oh, we got to do another rewrite. I'm like, he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave, and he's not gonna come
He's
back.
gonna leave, yeah.
I'm surprised he lasted this long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So next, like you guys know, we've been watching some ongoing series. Y'all want to talk about the Penguin first?
Penguin.
Penguin.
Yes. So is everyone how much has everyone watched or not watched or whatever the case is? Because we're at I think episodes. Yeah, we're 6 episodes out.
I watched
I
less
just
than
haven't
everybody.
seen the most recent.
Yeah,
I'm fully caught up.
I'm on episode 2.
So, and since they're still ongoing, and some people that are watching may not have fully watched it, we won't go into too much spoilers. Overall, starting with Penguin, I'm very excited. I'm very happy of what they've been doing, where these characters have been going, and all these characters kind of fit what they're trying to set up for the Batman 2. To put it simply, I think they're doing a very good job of creating a supervillain out of the Penguin and also Sophia. Like, it's not a spoiler, she's in the show. Like, they're both
Yeah.
building up to be supervillains who again, we don't know how this episode's gonna or this series is gonna end, but setting up these characters to be supervillains that are going to get the attention of the Batman. So
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Same. I'm really enjoying it as well, and like you said, it's real good setup, and it's real good exploring, their ties to the city, to each other and what that means for the story moving forward. I haven't watched the most recent episode, but from what I have seen, they have a lot of blood in the city. There's a lot of grudges all over the place. And that's really all I can say without getting too deep.
Basically, watch the Penguin if you haven't.
Yeah, for sure.
I love
Q?
I love how grounded the show feels. There's been, you know, a number of maybe gripes here and there about whether it's planting its feet fully in, you know, those comic book undertones, or if it's just going full on Sopranos. I will admit I have never watched Sopranos. I'm you know, more
Jersey icons.
more of a Wire apologist, understandably.
Wire's good too.
Understandable.
Yeah, but I've thoroughly enjoyed how, like I said, grounded the shows felt. Colin completely disappears in the role as he did with
100%.
Bro,
the
yes.
Batman film. And yeah, I like it's. Yeah, without getting, you know, into the weeds of it, I feel like his portrayal, execution, and the supporting cast as well, everything has kind of come together in this like succinct little piece, little story. And I'm curious to see where they take Oz Cobb, you know, beyond the series. But,
You guys, go ahead, Jelani.
Oh no, I have watched less than all three of y'all, but I have enjoyed what I watched so far. But like, yeah, I agree with Q. Like, I think so. This is definitely the type of series that I think benefits from being grounded compared to like other stuff. I feel like
for sure.
Hearing that about this series, definitely felt a lot better to hear than like other properties. Because I mean, like, what's like cosmic or otherworldly about like the Penguin, especially when it comes to like Batman's rogues, especially someone like Oswald. He's dealing a lot with like the mafia and like crime and everything like that. So you can keep that pretty grounded. I think Batman's rogues are probably the better rogues gallery that can handle a TV show or a movie by themselves. And it's, you know, it's evident with this. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to continuing it. As someone who's a Jersey native and loves Sopranos and loves Batman, I think this is like great.
The show's for you.
And honestly, like literally, it really is. So yeah,
Everyone go watch Penguin. Especially,
Do that.
not spoiling it, but episode, like I said, the way episode 6 ended, I'm like, okay, this is a perfect way to go into your last 2 episodes, because there's only 8 episodes for this.
Yeah,
it's like the way episode 6 ends is like, okay, yeah, there's gonna be some shit. Episode 7 tomorrow.
I'll say that's how you know it's an HBO series, because usually those last 2 episodes go crazy in a season. So I'm excited.
Well, usually episode 7 there's a whole bunch of fallout, and then 8 is just kind of calm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, knowing how episode 7s usually are, or the penultimate episodes, like 6 leads into it perfectly.
But it does depend on if they plan on taking this series and stretching it into, you know, like a multi-season project. Because I could definitely
I think they said it
see the
might be limited series, I think.
Really?
Mm.
I think so. I could be wrong, but I think
there's
they said it was
been
limited.
talk about it leading into the next movie. I don't know how accurate that is, but it would make sense for this to be a miniseries if this has repercussions for the next movie.
I don't think Colin's going to be getting into that bodysuit a ton.
too many more times.
I'm sure it takes quite a bit out of him.
I'll just say they're getting the Batman's attention. I'll put it at that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good.
And lastly, we've just wrapped up Agatha. Well, I've just wrapped up Agatha.
You guys can talk spoilers. It's fine.
How far?
I've seen the big like reveals in terms of like what characters are what and how characters end up. I've seen that much.
I'm
not sure if I'm gonna watch Agatha right away, or like obviously it's already out, but like fairly soon. I've seen the big things.
I'm on episode 6. There was a reveal that I've seen. So there's that. Because I was catching up on it this morning before we recorded. So yes, and I was texting E at the same time. I was like, oh,
I think I've
okay.
seen the. Wait, does that mean I've seen the least, or I guess it's between you and I, Danny?
No,
I haven't seen any
you're
of it.
right around the same
Yeah.
with Jelani.
Okay.
You're right
Yeah,
around
yeah.
the same.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there might be like one or two more reveals towards the end. But
If you guys
I've
want
been
to give
able to like,
your general thoughts on the season so far.
man, I thought
Yeah.
it was good, dude. I thought it was really, really good. I can't say that I wasn't excited for this, but I think I've been so far removed from WandaVision and kind of from like MCU stuff in general that it kind of just like slipped by me. But like catching up on it this morning, it reminded me of like why I loved that character so much and Catherine Hahn portraying that character so much. Because even, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into spoilers, but even when how the series kicks off, it perfectly brings you right back into that WandaVision, I guess, kind of like ethos or like universe kind of that they built up perfectly with it still feeling like a different series and not completely like, oh, you know, you love Wanda, let's just make all these references to Wanda. So yeah, and I was hooked. And also the supporting cast is fantastic in this show. It's really, really good. And I think they do a thing that made WandaVision so popular in their own way very well. They did it very well. And I feel like you kind of know what I'm talking about, E. Like they kind of have similar, like each episode has like a definite like vibe to it. So I'm like, I think they did that in their own way perfectly.
Yeah, it wasn't like a carbon copy of the way that Wanda did it.
Exactly. Because like you feel, because I know it's like, all right, this
a theme to each episode.
Exactly. Because I feel like they were like, all right, cool, that concept worked and that's fire. We want to do it again, but we can't do it the way we did it the first time. I think they did it well. So I love all the ties to the larger MCU and to WandaVision. I think it's great. So yeah.
I am enjoying the show for sure, and I do like those. I like those. I guess the ways that they did thematically tie it to what worked for WandaVision. I do think that by the time that WandaVision ends, it kind of got a little big and outside of the mold that they had essentially made for the show. But you know, that's mileage may vary on WandaVision. But Catherine Hahn. I mean, I was completely bought in from the jump because she's absolutely phenomenal. And I have enjoyed her portrayal of Agatha. But I might feel differently in about three more episodes.
You watch them on 4x speed, you said?
Yeah. I'll be right back in like 10 minutes, y'all.
But yeah, I feel a lot of the same things Jelani said. I'm on the other side of it now, so I do know some information that y'all don't, obviously. And I feel like the first few episodes spell out a lot of things, but you don't realize what's happening until the end. And it really comes together so well. And like Jelani and Q said, it makes me excited for what this means for the next MCU, because there are some things that happen that you kind of see in other media, not just comics and games as well. So it gets your mind turning, like, are they going to, bring that over to the MCU? Like, what does that mean? And then some of the characters who've been there from day one, they've had implications for the MCU since their first scene. So I've been excited seeing Jennifer Kell, who's played by Zashir Zameda, because she's cousins with Johnny Blaze. So I'm excited to see what happens to that character, and if they come back down the road. No pun intended. But
break out in chorus.
hold hands. But I thought it was really well put together. The story, I'm a little biased because y'all know I love Wiccan, I love the Young Avengers, so it was good seeing how they tied that character back into the MCU, because I was one of those people that was frustrated when he showed up in WandaVision as a little kid and then just got blasted to the ether. So I'm glad this show explained what happened, explained it well, and showed what's happening next, you know, in the end. So I'm excited to see more of the character and how they come about in the realm of the MCU, because it's kind of clear that we're getting the Young Avengers in some aspect. So, you know, there's still a few of the mainstays that haven't popped up yet, like Hulkling and Novar, but hopefully they come around soon, because we already got everybody else. Not Iron Lad, but who knows what they're doing with him, because he was a variant of Khan.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a situation to work out.
So I'm excited. I thought the show was really nice. There's a whole lot more I want to say about it, but I'll let you guys finish it up.
Yeah, we can dive into
I'll definitely be blowing up your phone once I finish it.
Yeah, say we can dive into it for the next episode.
Yeah.
One funny thing, because Jelani was watching it this morning, and he texted me. What did you say? He said, let's see. He said, "Oh, cute, he's gay," and I'm like, "Yeah, famously so."
He said, "Oh, cute, he's gay."
But yeah, so I'm excited for what's next for sure. But that's all we had for. Oh, Damien, did you want to say something? Okay, that's all we had for TVs and movies. Like I said, a lot has been announced, a lot to look forward to. Comics are back, baby. And so let's dive into some books. So yeah, first thing, we're going to hop into Marvel. First thing, since our last show, they introduced a new Ultimate Hawkeye, the first non-binary character to take on the mantle of a legacy hero, which is really cool. Their name is Charlie Ramsey. They're Native American and identify as Two-Spirit as well. They were introduced in Hawkeye number 5, Ultimate Hawkeye number 5. The next thing announced was Ultimate Wolverine. It will star Wolverine as the Ultimate Winter Soldier? Question mark. So okay. That sounds sounds interesting. Next we have Marvel's future Luke Cage.
Already on board. You said Luke Cage, so
if I'm reading correctly, it was a Elseworld Luke Cage who's kind of in the main continuity now. Shush.
Me trying to pronounce amalgamage. Amalgam.
Take your time, Pastor. But he's Luke Cage with the powers of Iron Fist, Hulk, and Sentry.
Christ.
So he just could literally punch a hole in anybody.
I was gonna say he's God.
He's basically God. Exactly. Yeah. And also a very exciting one I know myself and Jelani are very much looking forward to is Daredevil Cold Day in Hell.
Yeah, baby.
Which is gonna be in the spirit of Old Man Logan. So so we're very much looking forward to that. That's all that's really been announced for the Marvel slate. Dame, you want to take it away for DC?
Yeah, so for DC, and also if it seems like we're kind of flying through this, it's because we have a lot of books to get to, and we have some time commitment stuff. I would assume by the next episode we record, there's not going to be as much movie and TV announcements, so we'll be able to dive into the books a little bit more. But for DC, we had a lot. First up, we had Absolute Wonder Woman #1 come out. Without going too much into it, because some people still haven't read it yet, just in general, please go read it.
My variant cover
please
right now.
Check it out. Like that's, we might have to do a separate series just for Absolute Wonder Woman, just like we're going to do
Absolute books in general.
Yeah, right. Just like we're going to do a separate series for this one. Zatanna #5 came out last week, I believe. Yeah, the same day that Absolute Wonder Woman 1 came out. Like perfect. I texted E. I was like, they made this day for me, specifically for House Zatanna 5. But you'll read it.
Yeah.
Both books, absolutely amazing, super good, and I hope they continue to do well so they kind of get more in the conversation for the general audience. For Wonder Woman and Zatanna, it sucks that I have to say this, to hopefully show up in the DC Universe movies sooner rather than later.
You know?
Man.
Yeah, those books came out. So some new book announcements we got for DC. We got a new Aquaman series that'll be coming out by Jeremy Adams and John Timms. It's going to be coming out in January, I believe. This will be kind of following up the Absolute Power event that happened this year. One thing I'm excited for this is Aquaman has kind of powers to control more than just the animals now, and some of the water and stuff like that. But there's going to be some mammoth water construct kaijus that are coming out. For that. So be on the lookout. We'll talk. I'm going to pick that book up when it comes out in January, and we'll talk about it then. Another fun book. Around Valentine's Day, DC always does like a fun, love type of book. This one is called DC's Lex in the City, and the cover for it is a play on Sex in the City. Like, I don't know if it's from the first episode or what, but it's Lex in the City, Sex in the City. It's a whole thing. But
I love that already. Didn't know that was a thing. Now it's my new favorite thing in the world.
So that'll be coming out towards the end of January. A lot of different writers, a lot of fun short stories, and it's a fun time. We also got 2 Absolute books that got announced. We got Absolute Martian Manhunter. This is by Denis Camp and Javier Castor. That's in March. And then we also got Absolute Green Lantern. I think it was already announced, but we got a more of a look for it. That'll be from writer Al Ewing and artist Janoy Lindsay. That'll be coming out in March and will be a cosmic horror series. We have a bunch of other series that got announced. We have DC Power Rise of the Power Company. That will be DC's Black History Month book that'll be coming out. That'll be showcasing a lot of characters. That will be kind of highlighting the Waller was right movement that's happening in DC Comics right now. So that'll be coming out in February. Another book that we'll all likely pick up, and then we'll talk about it more when it comes out. We had Justice League. Again, DC had a lot of books come out. We had Justice League, The Atom Project, coming out from John Ridley and Ryan Parrott, with art by Mike Perkins. That'll be coming out in January as well. That'll be more about the Atom. I think it's going to be the Ryan Choi Atom that'll be highlighted.
It's
for that
both.
One. Oh, it's both.
Both. It's both Atoms, and then Captain Atom, because after Absolute Power, he doesn't have his powers, and he's like, I don't want those back. So,
that'll be Ryan Palmer and Ryan Choi, like he said, both Atoms, and then Captain Atom as well. And then big news, I should have started off with this. DC is bringing back the Vertigo imprint. Vertigo was a big imprint in the 90s. That's where Hellblazer, aka John Constantine, was debuted. That's where Swamp Thing was. That's where Doom Patrol kind of had their big runs. The Sandman, of course. So that'll be coming back. And then we also got Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2. If you haven't read the first one, please go read it. It's Justice League, it's Godzilla, it's Kong. There's other monsters, maybe, perhaps. But that was a fun short series that came out. It's just, when I was reading that, I was like, this is what comic books are. Just a bunch of shit just fighting each other. There's some cool moments. Again, not to spoil it, but there's a Green Lantern involved with one of these monsters. I'm not going to say who, but it's very fucking cool when it happens. Similar hype moment when one of the small highlights from Suicide Squad kills the Justice League when King Shark gets his Green Lantern ring. There's a similar moment in this series. But the sequel got announced. That'll be coming out next spring. And then also a pretty big announcement. DC Go got announced, which is a new frontier of webcomics that'll be publishing exclusively on DC Universe Infinite. Webcomics have been getting a big kind of, I don't know, resurgence, but surgence lately, not only with comic book characters, but just webcomics in general.
For sure.
And lastly, we got Absolute Superman #1 will be coming out next week. So that's a lot of stuff. Like I said, DC had a huge stuff announced. I would say because by the time we record the next episode, some of the series we're looking forward to will be coming out, like the Black Canary book. Batgirl comes out.
Hello.
Batgirl comes out. Cassandra Cain comes out next week.
Nice.
The Question book of Renee Montoya comes out November 20th.
Okay.
Gosh, what a good month.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff coming out.
DC
so
is cooking with comic books.
I would imagine that our next episode, we are going to talk a lot about these books because there won't be as much movie and TV news.
Yeah, because there's been some good books that came out recently that we didn't get a chance to hit on either today, like Jenny Sparks and Green Lantern Dark. So we'll get to that in the next episode when we have more time.
Yeah, and we will also still record a separate series specifically for Zatanna because there's a lot to talk about that book. And we're going to get Q to read that book and check it out as well.
And the Absolute Batman.
I'm
Yeah, that's true.
wait.
Absolute Batman. But that is. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm just excited. I'm excited for that. Absolutely.
And we do need to talk about the All In as well, because that's
Yes.
kind of DC's new rebirth, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Today was a lot of TV and movie news. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Next episode, I imagine, will be a lot of book talk and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Q, thank you for joining us. Thank you for promoting the Bald Agenda. I appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
And maybe we'll have you on as our next guest to talk more about the books when you read those ones again, and we'll do all that.
Hey, W tryout.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for vibing. And let us know who you want cast as Wonder Man, Blade.
Right.
Fuck it, I'll do it.
Thank you guys for
I'll be
watching.
Blade.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.